नमस्कार। आज का जो टॉपिक है सीक्वेंसेज इन मैट्रिक स्पेसेज, तो ये मैथमेटिक्स एमएससी मैथ्स थर्ड सेमेस्टर वालों के लिए फंक्शनल एनालिसिस जो थर्ड C1 पेपर है उसका टॉपिक है सीक्वेंसेज इन मैट्रिक स्पेसेज। तो इससे पहले बच्चों को मैट्रिक स्पेस की जानकारी होना चाहिए, उसके पश्चात ये अच्छी तरह समझ आएगा। तो आज के टॉपिक में सीक्वेंस, सब सीक्वेंस एंड प्रोसेस सीक्वेंस के और उससे संबंधित थ्योरम्स हैं, उसके ऊपर लेक्चर है। सो वी फर्स्ट डिफाइन द सीक्वेंसेज। सीक्वेंस, द सीक्वेंस, let x, the definition of sequence is like that: let x be a non-empty set. A sequence in x is a function from n, the set of natural number or set of positive number into x. So if S is a sequence in x, then the image Sn of n belongs to n is usually denoted by Sn, and it is customary to denote the sequence S by classical symbol bracket Sn. Sometimes we write it as a bracket S1, S2 and so on Sn. So this is the definition of sequence: is a mapping from set of natural number to set X. The image Sn in of n is called the term of the sequence. Here different terms S1, S2, Sn are terms of the sequence. So this some particular variety of this sequence is that the terms of a sequence need not be distinct. Each term may sometimes may be same or may different. The range set of a sequence may be finite or infinite. So for example, the range of the sequence -1 power n bracket is 1 and -1, two element set, and which consists of two elements only. Where is the range of the sequence n upon n minus 1? That is the sequence 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 4 and so on is the infinite set. So these are the examples of two sequences: one sequence having finite image range set and one sequence having infinite range set. So the possibility that range set may be finite or infinite. Second, we define the subsequence. So subsequence is also a sequence with these conditions. With this definition, let S and T be two sequences in a set X, then T is said to be a subsequence of S if there exists a mapping phi from n to n. Here n is the set of natural number, such that with these two conditions. The first condition, that T equal to S O phi. Here S and phi are mappings, and this is the composition of mapping S O phi. And for each n in n, there exists an m in n such that phi of the I is greater and equal to m for every I greater and equal to m in n. So with these two conditions, we can say that we are having the definition that T is the subsequence of sequence S. So we can see the example. First we see the notation. In other words, if Sn is a sequence in X and In is a sequence in n, such that I1 is less than I2 and so on less than In and so on, then Sin is called a subsequence of Sn. Here we denote the sequence by Sn and subsequence by bracket Sin. So next we see the example of sequence and subsequence. Here let S equal to 1 by n. This is a sequence where n is the natural number, non-negative number in R, and in R, sorry, here R is the set of real number, and we consider T equal to 1 upon 2n minus 1 is a subsequence of S. Here S is 1 by n and t is equal to 1 bracket 1 by 2n. So we show here the mapping where the mapping phi n to n is defined as phi n equal to 2n minus 1. So we check the property condition of the mappings, that SO phi, composition of two mappings SO phi n equal to S phi n bracket phi n equal to S by the definition of phi n, the S 2n minus 1, and this is equal to 1 by 2n minus 1, and by definition of Tn is equal to 1 by 2n minus 1. So comparing these two functions, we obtained SO phi equal to T. Therefore this condition is satisfied. Second, so this T is a subsequence of the sequence 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and so on. So next, for this sequence we consider some theorems. So the first theorem characterizes the property of the sequence is as: if the range set of a convergent sequence in a metric space consists of infinitely many distinct points, then the limit of the sequence is an accumulation point of the range set of the sequence. Here we are considering a convergent sequence and telling that it consists infinitely many distinct points. Then the limit of this sequence is an accumulation point of the range set of the sequence. So proof is like this. Let XD be a metric space and let S equal to Sn be a convergent sequence in X with limit S0. Here Sn is a convergent sequence, therefore it consists limit S0. So we have to show that S0 is an accumulation point of the range set Rs of S. Suppose, if possible, contrary, that S0 is not an accumulation point of Rs, then by the definition of accumulation point, there exists an open sphere S0R centered at S0 which contains no point of Rs different from S0. However, since S0 is the limit of the sequence, therefore by the limit of the sequence there exists a positive integer m such that for all n greater and equal to m implies Sn belongs to S0R. Consequently, Sn equal to S0 because this neighborhood contains no other point other than S0, therefore Sn equal to S0. For all n greater and equal to m, since S0 contains no point of Rs different from S0, so it follows that Rs consists of finitely many distinct points, but this is a contradiction about that its range space is containing infinite points. So hence S0 must be an accumulation point of Rs. Therefore, if a sequence, convergent sequence containing infinitely many points, then its limit is also a limit of range set of sequence. Now we consider the third point, the Cauchy sequence. We define the Cauchy sequence. So the definition of Cauchy sequence is like this one. Let XD be a metric space and let S equal to Sn be a sequence in X. Then S is said to be a Cauchy sequence in X if for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a positive integer n epsilon depending on epsilon, such that for all mn greater and equal to n epsilon implies dsm comma sn is less than epsilon. So this is the Cauchy sequence, that for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a positive integer n epsilon, for which all integers mn greater and equal to n epsilon implies the points of this dsm, distance between these 2 points sm and sn is less than epsilon. So for relation between the Cauchy sequence, we are having a theorem that every convergent sequence in a matrix space is a Cauchy sequence. This is the property of the convergent sequence, that every convergent sequence in a matrix space is a Cauchy sequence. So we see the proof of this as here, that every convergent sequence in a matrix space is a Cauchy sequence. So let S equal to Sn be a convergent sequence in a matrix space XD, and let S0 be the limit of S. Then we will show that this is also a Cauchy sequence. So for as S0 is a limit of S, therefore for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer n epsilon such that n is greater and equal to n epsilon. For every epsilon there exists n epsilon such that for all natural number n greater and equal to n epsilon, d of the S0 Sn is less than epsilon by 2, and for similarly for all n greater and equal to n epsilon, d S0 Sm is less than epsilon by 2. So we are having that for m and n which are greater than n epsilon, d of the S0 Sm is less than epsilon by 2, and d of the S0 Sn is less than epsilon by 2. So now using the property of triangle inequality of the matrix, d of the Sm comma Sn is less and equal to d Sm comma S0 plus d S0 Sn, and this is less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2 equal to epsilon. Here we have used the equation 1. Hence S is a Cauchy sequence. So we are having the remark about this Cauchy converse of this, that the converse of the above theorem is however not true. For example, we are considering the interval half open from 0 side and closed from 1, semi-open or semi-closed interval 0, 1 with the usual metric dxy equal to modulus of the x minus y. So now S equal to Sn, where Sn equal to 1 by n is a sequence in X which is not convergent, since the point 0 to which S wants to converge is not a point of X, but S is a Cauchy sequence. For proving this as Cauchy sequence, we follow these steps. For given epsilon greater than 0, we choose a sufficient large integer n epsilon greater than 2 by epsilon, and we choose m and n are any positive integer greater than n epsilon. Then n is greater than 2 by epsilon and m is greater than 2 by epsilon. Therefore, reversing this, 1 by n is less than epsilon by 2 and 1 by m is less than epsilon by 2. So we now see the value of d Sm Sn equal to modulus of the Sm minus Sn equal to modulus of the Sm plus bracket minus Sn, and this is less and equal to, by triangle inequality, modulus of the Sm plus modulus of the minus Sn, and but the modulus of minus Sn and plus Sn is same. Therefore this is less than equal to 1 by m plus 1 by n, which are less than epsilon by 2. So hence we are shown that S is a Cauchy sequence. Now we consider the relation of a Cauchy sequence and convergent subsequence theorem, that if a Cauchy sequence in a matrix space has a convergent subsequence, then the sequence is convergent. If a Cauchy sequence having convergent subsequence, then this sequence is convergent. So we show the limit of the Cauchy sequence. So let S prove, let S equal to Sn be a Cauchy sequence in a matrix space XD, and let Skm be a subsequence of S converging to X0 belongs to X. that is skm tends to x0 as m tends to infinity. So we can also have d of the skm x0 is less than epsilon for sufficiently large km. So now we are using the theorem 1 that every convergent sequence is a Cauchy sequence. Therefore here skm is a convergent sequence. So this skm is a Cauchy sequence, and hence given epsilon greater than 0 there exists a positive integer n epsilon such that for all mn greater than n epsilon d of the skm sn is less than epsilon. Km is a strictly increasing sequence, so positive integers, so we are making m tends to infinity. We have n is greater and equal to n epsilon. D implies dx0 Sn is less than epsilon. So we have shown that for the sequence Sn, this x0 is a limit of the Sn. So this shows that the sequence Sn converges to x0. So this is the lecture on sequence, subsequence and the Cauchy sequence and their related theorems. I am Dr. R. P. Somani, Associate Professor, Government College, Kota. So for more detail, you consider see the reference book. Thank you.